And there we go. Good morning, everyone. It is 9:29 a.m. New York time, and that means the New York session is about to open, and it should get interesting from here. I mean, it's been a very uneventful London. I traded the entire London, well, I should say I watched the entire London session this morning. Very range bound, as you can tell here from this 10-minute chart. This is the NASDAQ for those who are new, looking at a 10-minute chart on the left-hand side and a 1-minute chart on the right-hand side. It's NASDAQ futures, okay? So NASDAQ futures, 10 minutes on the left, 1 minute on the right. That's about all we're going to look at today. And what I'll do is I'll take you out to the 10-minute. We'll look at that in a bigger on a bigger screen here, just to kind of get a sense of what happened. These colorings in the background here, this is the Asian session in this darker blue, and then this lighter blue is the London session, at least part of it. Of course, it still continues a little bit here. There's an overlap. And now New York, you see that color changed right there, has just opened. And we're breaking finally, oh no, we were breaking finally below that zone there, which was unable to break during Asia and so far during the London session. And we'll see what the New York session can offer us there in terms of that. So I took no trades for the longest time here. Then I actually did take 2 trades, but they weren't my normal system, so I didn't videotape them or anything, but I did send the executions to my Telegram group, because this will be a different model that I'm forward testing right now that I'll be unveiling to our Telegram group at no charge in the next few days or weeks, and just to add to what we're already doing. And we're doing some incredible things here together. We welcome you to join us if you're like-minded, if you have a positive mental attitude and a good vibe and a humble nature, willing to learn and to share, then you are welcome in our group to participate in what we're doing there. That's Telegram, and it's called Zerillion Trading and Telegram, and the links are in the description, I believe, in all the videos, and so you can always just join. We've been around now for about 4 weeks, and gone from 0 to 170 members. Our Twitter channel, I opened it in mid-October, and that's already in 4 weeks, 500 followers, and over 200 followers on the YouTube channel already, and so people are figuring out what we're doing here and jumping on board, and it's amazing to have everybody in. And I'm humbled, I'm flattered, I'm grateful for all of the participation in the trading community around what we're doing here. I've been trading now for over 33 years, probably closer to 35 years actually, if I counted properly. And so in my 4th decade, I've been a technical analyst for over 25 years, a chartered market technician for 23 years, so got the certification, but I was already a technical analyst before that. So quarter century essentially as a technician, and in the industry for many years, longer than that, asset management at a high level, VP at one of the largest asset managers in the world for several years, and so on and so forth. Anyway, I won't get into my background right now. The New York session is open. Watching this flurry of activity now as the longs and the shorts and the buyers and the sellers and the good and the evils try to figure out which direction they want to go. And right now, in this moment, it looks like that direction is down. But we'll see. That can change very quickly. That blue candle can very quickly do that. You saw it there, didn't you? It flipped over to a white candle again. And this is what we've been seeing now just about every day in the New York session. It's fairly typical behavior, but not with candles of this size. This candle, for instance, is 35 points. Just that one candle alone. It's the first candle of the session, first 10-minute candle. And, of course, we've had some candles on news releases, CPI data, and of course, interest rate announcements by the FOMC that have been over 200 points in one-minute candle. So massive moves. Of course, a few days ago, we had the largest point gain in history in the NASDAQ and the 14th largest percentage gain in history on that big rally day after inflation data came in a little bit shy of what people were expecting. So kind of a bizarre rally, quite frankly, and I've seen this many times before, this type of reaction. And I would just simply say to you that I believe that this market is still very vulnerable to further downside. And I won't say more than that. I don't believe in predicting, making directional calls in a big sense. I believe in trusting what the market's telling us at any given point in time. That means minute to minute, second to second, and month to month, year to year, week to week. You get my point. It's just believing. It's always about what dance are you dancing and how can I join in on that, recognizing that the market is always the leader of the dance. And I can promise you that if you choose to take the leadership role in that dance, you will lose. Maybe not that time, maybe not that trade, maybe not that session or even that week. But eventually, if you try to lead a dance that the market is not willing to dance, you will get destroyed. Okay, I've seen it many, many times before. There's a very real reason why nearly 100% of day traders lose money. That's just the facts. Because I have nothing to sell you, I'm going to give you the truth. This is a very, very difficult thing to do, and it takes a lot of discipline, but more importantly, it takes impulse control and self-management that most people will never get to, quite frankly. It takes a lot of work. I encourage you to work your way through. A lot of these things are brand new now, but work through my trading psychology playlist and the podcast on podcast playlist for Razor's Edge. Razor's Edge, a play on the word, of course, Razor's Edge. All right, this candle still has 4.5 minutes left to go. All that talking and all that watching and all that flurry of activity, and we're still only just halfway through that first 10-minute candle. Can you believe it? I can, because I see it almost every day. So what I'd be looking for here is for this candle to close in this lower zone that you see marked off by the arrow. The arrows, by the way, are not predictions. They're simply telling us where I believe that prices may flow fairly freely, given that there's relatively clean traffic to the left. Sorry about that. I had to put the microphone on mute. I thought I had to cough there for a moment. My throat is, you might be able to hear if you know what my voice normally sounds like. It's very dry today. The heating system here in the New York zone is on already because we have some cooler temperatures. And so my throat still has to get used to the dry air. And probably have to have some liquids here with me besides just coffee to wake me up. As I mentioned, I do trade the London session as well, which starts at 3 a.m. my time. I do that every day. Every weekday. And so I wake up between 1 and 2 a.m. every day and then do my chart work before that, as well as my mental game preparation. And that's a ritual in itself. Been doing that for a long time and recommend that everybody does something of that nature. Watching closely. All right, 3 minutes left here. Now this is a very tricky setup, and the reason it's so tricky is because if it closes around where it is now, looks like it wants to drive down. If it closes where it is now, we still have this rejection wick here from Friday, and believe it or not, that does matter, even though it's through the beginning of London and through all of Asia and through the weekend, which is the space right here. That little thing right there does matter. And I've just been able to prove that over and over and over again. These zone drawings that you see here are affectionately being called ZAR zones in our group. But I will tell you, they're nothing more than basic support and resistance. But they're drawn in a very specific way. And if you'd like to learn how to draw those the way I draw them, if you want to, there's no need to, then please follow my playlist on YouTube. It's called How to Draw Zones. And there are 3, 4, 5 videos there of me drawing them live on live streams from naked charts. Naked charts meaning just candles and nothing else. And then putting these zones together, mapping these zones, the ZAR zones, which become very powerful parts of our trading through the session. One of the guys in my group right now has just signaled to the group that there's a big divergence between he said between NAS. So he didn't say what from, but there's between the NAS and the Dow, and it's absolutely correct. That is absolutely correct. Yeah, we'll see. And I'll bring you over to what I call the sisters grid. This is the NASDAQ on the far left, the Dow in the middle, and then the S&P 500 on the far right, and you will see that they are in fact doing different things. And those different things can be seen by this yellow line, which is the open of New York. So the NASDAQ for now is below the open, whereas the Dow is above the open, and the S&P is also above. So the NAS is in fact diverging. That was a good call by one of the great members of our a really good trader in our group here. So I'm just going to post that as well. Make sure that everybody gets a chance to see that in the group, and then make decisions on that basis. Just going to watch this now. 13 seconds left, and can you see what just happened here? I'm going to bring you back. You saw that on this slide. How about this slide? Remember that powerful blue candle that was heading down into here? This is why I wait for candles to close. It actually closed. The first 10-minute candle closed a white candle and back into range. Go figure, right? This is why that initial flurry can be very damaging if you're chasing returns and or chasing price action and trying to extrapolate information from that more than the next few seconds, right? And there's nothing wrong with taking a few points out of this if you can on a micro scalp, but that's not what we're doing here at all. This is the 1 minute chart. Brought it back now so we can see both of them. So again, 10 minutes, I'll just put that there. You see at the bottom there, 10 minutes on the left, 1 minute on the right, just to remind you. And then we'll watch what happens here. This might turn into a wick fill right here. This may in fact drop down fairly easily to fill that wick, but it's not a trade I'm going to take here. So we will be watching that very, very closely now. All right, nice pullback on the 1 minute. Nice pullback on the 1 minute. Give me 1 second. I'm just going to check something in my platform here. So this is a scalp that can be taken. It's right there. That break below that blue candle into a finishing off of this range right here. You can get like a nice little 10 points out of that potentially, but it's very whippy right now, so it's super tricky. As you can see that whipping around there. Very whippy. A lot of indecision in this market today. A lot of indecision. There's that push down. We'll see if it continues. It's just too much sloppiness for me to take something here. But I suspect that wick can get filled fairly easily. All right. So as you've seen by many of my videos, you'll know that I typically use the first 10-minute candle as my minimum open range. There's that wick filling out. It looks something like this, so this would be my opening range. Bear with me. All right, I'm going to take you back to the 10-minute candle only. We can focus on that. Or 10-minute chart, pardon me. All right, there's the wick fill. That was that little that scalp that one could have taken. I'm going to take out some of these circles. ellipses. Okay, now we're getting a breakdown here. So you saw that we're breaking out of the open range. There was that wick fill, which if things weren't as sloppy, I mentioned could be a scalp trade that you could take there and take about 10 or 12 points out of that very easily, under more normal circumstances, I would say. So trying to react. Okay, yeah, so there's about 20 points in there. And now we're at this horizontal line where that wick rejection was from Friday that I mentioned earlier. I'd be more interested in this piece that you see right here, where we have that clean traffic. Just moving my arrows over now, since more information is printed, and we can move things over closer to the action. See this drop below. Dropping nicely now. So the futures now are down 128 points, or 1%. Okay, 1% for the day. 1% for the day. All right, watching now. 4 minutes left in this candle, driving down quite powerfully at this point. In this 3 minutes, I'm going to show you something that I've been playing with just for the group, and this thing's just going to keep on selling off here for the time being, and that is just fine. I don't feel like I'm missing anything, and that's something that I encourage all traders to get used to. If it's not part of your plan, you're not missing it. It's just a move that is happening in the market. Nothing to do with you until your system says go. It's a mind frame that's critical to adopt eventually, and you'll learn it one way or the other, the hard way, or you can learn it the easy way by hearing it from me. He who made all the mistakes decades ago. This is the Czar's hammer, they're calling it in my group, and it's for fun, of course, but this is the 10-minute chart. This is a 10-minute chart happening right here. I'm just going to fire this off to my group. You can see what it says there if you're watching this. All right, let's take you back. It's been a little bit of a retracement or pullback now in the action that we're looking at. We're still down 1% on NASDAQ futures. You see that tail there? There's that pullback being rejected and potentially may even close above that blue line. We'll see. I say blue line, I'm actually colorblind for those who are new. And I've been told that's blue, but it might be purple. I get blues and purples mixed up. But you'll know what color that is, no doubt. Unless you're colorblind too. All right, look at that drop. That's a big one. So that candle alone is 78 points. That's a big 10-minute candle, covering a lot of ground. I'll put you on mute for 1 second. All right, this candle is closing in 40 seconds. Now, things get interesting. And because of the sloppiness here, I'm not particularly interested in getting into a trade, but I may take one for the Instagram, right? I'm not even on Instagram, but you know what I mean. I think the troops would like me to have some action. Should I do that? That's probably not a good idea. That would be a bad example. Yeah. So if I like the setup, I may take something here, but if I don't, I won't. I'm not going to do it just for giggles, as we say, because this is real money that we're playing with here. New candle has begun. We're getting a pullback, top wick, which is something that I like to see. So now things are interesting here. Things are very interesting here because the first candle closed inside of the open range. The second candle, the blue candle, closed inside of the range of the first candle. See that there? So my opening range stands, and now we're getting a flip potentially. Bear with me. I'm going over to my platform here. I may consider a short right about here. It will be a short on a flip of this candle for a wick fill of about 20 points. Live order now. Live order now. Sell stop. Live order now. Sell stop. I'm not in the trade. It's a live order. It's a sell stop order. That means if this flips to a blue candle and drives down, I will be brought into the trade for 20 points. Be looking for 20 points. It's about a 1-to-1. Very tricky trade because we did close above the prior wick, the prior low. Yeah, you know what? I'm taking that out. We're not doing it. No trade there. No trade. This is trading, guys. You're thinking on your feet all times and questioning your motivations, and this is what I'm doing right now. Because that didn't close below that wick, which was a violent rejection, and we got violently rejected here. Without a close below, I can't do it. I think there is a very high chance that if this candle flips down, it will fill that wick, like I said, and maybe even this entire zone. I don't care. Having rethought it, this is not the most certain move. It's a potential move. It's not even the most likely move. And I'm looking to trade the most certain moves, and there is nothing certain about trading in any circumstance whatsoever. But I'm looking for the most certain move in any situation, and that means I need all the elements in my favor in the form of a confluence. And right now I'm not getting them all. But what I will show you is this. Things are looking actually a little bit better as we're speaking. See this pullback on the 1-minute chart? That's a more resourceful structure. Now I can get interested, potentially. Blue candle, closes blue candle, sell stop below the next blue candle on the 1-minute chart. I'm flipping over to the 1-minute chart on my own platform. Happens to be Interactive Brokers, no affiliation. If that candle closes blue, I may be looking for a quick sell stop below that candle, not live yet, for a quick scalp. 33 seconds left. I'm actually going to focus only on the 1-minute chart now. See that there? Move, and measured move, more or less. I'm not going to measure that for you, so I'm focused on this right now. All right, bear with me. Candle closes blue, 14 seconds left. 14 seconds left. 9 seconds. All right, sell stop live below that wick. Sell stop below that wick. It looks like this. I'm in. I actually got taken in before the candle even closed, which is not what I wanted, but it'll do. Targeting near the bottom of this body. See that there? targeting near the bottom of that body. Now managing very closely. Very sloppy. Referring to the market action, my entry wasn't that terrible. Although I've been known to have sloppy entries. Still in for now. Still in for now. Looks like we're going to get stopped out on this one. Keep watching this. Very sloppy entry. I mean, very sloppy market. So this is a 1-to-1. This would be a 1R trade, right? Nothing to do with the points. This could be 17 points. It could be 40 points. It's 1R. All right. Stop to above current candle. I was going to say current candle body. We're not there now. Current candle wick. See that there? Current candle wick. Now it becomes about points, right? And stopped out. Stopped out at minus 7 points. Okay, so we're out of that trade. I'm going to keep watching this for a while and see if we get a second chance on this. It's possible. Okay, so there's a loss. Very small loss. We were able to manage that. We actually cut it in half. We cut it more than a half, so it's a 0.4 R loss. Okay, 0.4 R loss. I'm going to delete that now so we can stay focused. Just going to check my platform, make sure I got that sizing right. Yeah, so basically 0.38. I'm going to say 0.4 R loss on that. Less than half an R. And I typically, a lot of people ask me this, I typically use 1% of my account risk on an R as an R value. Sometimes half a percent, and sometimes 2% maximum if the confluence is just so incredibly powerful that it makes sense to risk more. But it's usually, I would say, an average of 1%. All right, let's get back to the 10-minute chart here, and we can see this messiness just play out. Back into the range, so we're back into the open range here, and there's nothing more for us to do, at least for me to do, except to watch this and see what happens next. All right, zigzag retracement on the 1-minute chart. You see that there? I'm going to take this line out to make things a little neater. You see this zigzag? It's got a look and feel that's something like that, and that's a fairly standard configuration for a retracement. All right, I'm going to switch over to another screen here, and I want to see something while I'm talking with you and see if we can Find another opportunity here before I sign off for the day. Yeah. Sorry guys, I was just checking out the four sisters here, or the three sisters in this case. Watching that here. I'll take you over there. This is the Nasdaq, the Dow, and the S&P. Nasdaq on the left, Dow in the middle, S&P on the right. And now they're more in sync in terms of their relationship to the 20 EMA, but the Nasdaq is still trading below the yellow line. The yellow line is the open of New York. You see that? The other ones are stronger, and they seem to be pulling up the Nasdaq at this point. This is a very indecisive market now. Going to remove some of this material so we can get focused on the current structure. This is updated and revised structure based on new information, specifically in the New York session, right? Because that's what we're trading. It's a new set of participants versus the ones that were in London. There is some overlap until about 11:30 or 11 o'clock a.m. New York time. But for now, the American institutions, foundations, endowments, portfolio managers, and the retail group are very much in control of this. Banks, of course, as well. And I should say out of control of this because it's very indecisive right now. This is sloppy market action. Okay, so I think I had you on the wrong screen there for a second, but I just cleared up some of the support and resistance that was here before, and I've revised it under here and over here based on the current session, right? Okay. Put you on pause here, guys. I want to save you some time. Sometimes do this. I'll put you on pause and let some candles unfold, and then I'll bring you back and tell you what's going on. Save you some time. Thanks for watching, guys. Be right back. Okay, guys, I'm back. You can see the market is pushing up now. This is quite a few minutes later since I paused you. And we're back into that range, of course, that whole opening range there from London. And this particular range here, which of course is that first 10-minute candle, right? So we're just breaking out above that now, but now we're running right into this resistance here. So there's nothing for me there. But if we can get through here, things get more interesting for me. I'll put you back on pause for now. All right, I'm back, and look what's happening now. You see that big candle there pushing, has pushed up. There was another white candle looking very strong, but right into resistance. I've been looking to take a short very soon, right about now, as a matter of fact. Bear with me right now as I get into my own platform. Sell stop limit Sell stop limit. Not yet. I need to see something else happen here on the 1 minute before I even commit. And this order is not live. This order is not live yet. Yeah, getting there. Sell stop limit. I should put it up here so you can see it. Not live. Just getting it ready to be able to show you. I'm going to take off this open range marker just so we can keep this a little cleaner. Believe it or not, I don't like messy charts, although it might not look like it to you if you're new to the channel. But everybody's a little different in terms of how they have their charts, but I like clean. As clean as possible while including all the information that can help you make a resourceful decision here on the charts. Nothing's live yet. Okay, good. So, the whole idea here is we have key resistance, and then now testing that resistance again. There is very definitely some serious or significant buying pressure or buying interest coming into this New York session now. We just don't know how sustained it is and will be. And so now we're watching to see how this reacts. And there's a certain signature when a rejection begins to happen, and you can have pretty good conviction around it. And this might be it right here. Sell stop limit right there. Sell stop limit. Bear with me. I'm just trying to get over to my own platform too. Sell stop limit. I may cancel this in a heartbeat, so please stay with me. It's making another attempt. I mean, very high chance this is going to just blow through and close the zone. But there's also a good chance, or a reasonable chance, that they will take out some stops here. Well, you'll see, watch this 1 minute candle, you'll see a flurry. As it fills the orders, watch this. Watching closely on that 1 minute chart. It may not happen here today, but keep watching. Just got to get up a little bit higher, and you'll see the candle will almost jump and snap, and boom, as if it's popping, and often a sign that a bunch of resting orders are being taken out. We just need one more push up there before. Sometimes you have to go once or twice, 2 or 3 times even, to take out all the orders, but we'll see. Might not even get that high. They might have already been done. I mean, you just never know what's sitting up there. All right, watching now closely. Next blue candle. There it is. I'm staying with this. You know, there is a reason to be taking a short up here. I'm not going to. It's not for me today, given the sloppiness of this market. But this should fill fairly easily if it doesn't rally. Playing the waiting game, which, I mean, trading is, right? Those of you who've been trading for a while, you know that 99% of trading is just sitting and waiting and watching, or it should be. If you're trading so actively that you're always busy, chances are you're not making money, quite frankly, and then over time, you might be making money in a day or even a week or sometimes even a month, but eventually highly active trading, unless you're an HFT, high frequency trader, then it's usually expensive. I can say that with pretty good confidence. Moving this to the side so we don't get distracted. Get some perspective here now. Yeah, no, this is strong. Okay, so there's quite a lot of sustained buying here for now. There we go. Sell down. This is not a live order yet. This is not a live order yet. But it is now. This is a live short order. I feel like we're in the Wild West today. This is a sell stop order right now. Below that wick. And in. I'm in this trade. Stop to above the previous candle body. Stop to above the previous candle body. Super whippy. Looks like it wants to go back up and test again. We might take back-to-back losses in this session, which haven't happened in, well, since we started, I don't think. That's how messy this is. It's possible I'm just taking bad trades, but I don't think so. I will review, of course, at the end of the session and do a real forensics, which I always do on my trades, and make sure that things made sense and that I wasn't being sloppy and vengeful or anything like that. Oops, excuse me. Undo. So nervous traders can get out now, break even. I'm not going to. I'm going to stay with this. Watching closely. Going to manage this in a minute if we get a chance to. But this, oops, there's a fresh, I was about to say there's fresh buying coming in. I could feel it. The bottom of this body here. Lots of buying there. The interest that pushed that up is still there. So here it comes. It's watching now. Yeah, there's still more buying right there. It's all sitting right here underneath this area. It's the same parties that created this shift candle are still here, ready to mirror that candle again on the upside. See this shift candle, impulse, and then back, and now looking to impulse again. But we'll see if we can get out of this first. Watching these rejection wicks here and wondering if that will continue. We'll see. Yeah, there it comes again, right? There it comes again. This could be the one. This is the death blow, so to speak. Here it comes. And out. All right, that's 1 R. So down 1.4 R now. That's 2 back-to-back losses. I don't think that's happened since we started. I don't think we've done that. So we're breaking new ground together, folks. And if you're new here, that'll be an exciting time for you. But this is trading. You've heard me talk about, or you will hear me if you go through our videos, about the coin flip. And sometimes you can have back-to-back I always call heads, by the way. So a heads, I win, and tails is a loss. Sometimes you'll get back-to-back tails. That's just the way this works, right? I'm going to leave that marker there for a minute here and see how this reacts, because I actually may get back in again. Yeah, dump that. Watch this. Getting back in right now when that breaks below. Getting back in when that breaks below. I still feel like this structure is sound. I'm in now. This time, going for 2R. 2R in this one. There it is. Just managing on my own platform. Bear with me. Stop above current candle, previous candle body. So the blue body, you can see it there. I'm just going to show it to you. Waiting and watching. Stop to break even. Stop to break even. As you'll hear me say a lot, there's a very high chance now we'll get stopped out of break even. But let's just see if we can get this done. We're looking for 2R here on this one. Looking for 2R on that rejection that we talked about. You see the 10-minute chart there? So that candle is now broken down, and there it is, folks. We did it. All right, 26.5 points in 2R. That makes us up 0.6R for the day, right? And I'm happy with that, given the very sloppy session. So 3 trades. I'm not going to take any more here on stream. I may come back later if we have any more setups, but now this move for me is done in terms of optimal setup opportunities, right? So we lost 0.4R in the first one, then we lost a full R in the second one, and then we made 2R for a net of 0.6R, and that's trading. That's a trading business. You have expenses, sometimes back-to-back expenses. We kept one expense smaller than it needed to be. It was going to be a 1R expense. We were able to reduce it to a 0.4. The second one was a full expense, right? We didn't have much of a choice, and then it happened very quickly. And then this one was a full revenue generating transaction, if you will, right? That full trade, but now for 2R, and that's a profitable business for today. And if we do that over time, you have a profitable business, period. I want to thank you very much for joining us. I think that was a good learning opportunity for traders, young and old, or new and old to the game, veterans and rookies alike. Thank you for joining me. We will see you a little bit later today. Otherwise, we'll see you in London or New York tomorrow. Have an amazing Monday. We'll talk soon. Take care, guys.